welcome to Vlogmas Day 21. I can't believe only 4 more days until Christmas. That is so crazy to think about. It's getting closer and closer. Right now I'm having some fruit, some strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. So I'm going to be eating this now. Okay, so right now Nana and I are going to make homemade ravioli with the pasta dough. So our plan is to have, we're going to be using this 00 flour.
King Arthur.
And we're gonna do in 2 batches with the food processor, 3 cups of flour, about a fourth a cup of water or a little bit more if needed, and then 3 eggs. For each egg, it's equivalent to 1 cup of flour. So we're gonna be trying to put this in the food processor and see how it turns out, and we will go from there.
It's very important. You put all your weight into it like this with the heels of your hand, and you go over with it, and you go in like this, and you keep doing it.
How is the dough, Nana?
It feels just a little too stiff. I think it needs some more water or something. I don't know. See, you'll have to feel it to see what you think. To me, it feels stiff. It should be more pliable than this.
Do you think it needs more flour or water?
I think it needs more.
Is it drier? Or is it's dry? Or?
It's stiff. So it's not as pliable. I think it needs more water. We figured out that the dough needed a little bit more water, and we go by the feel. It's all in the feel. Now this one was resting, and what I did is I just wet the top of it a little bit from the thing. I didn't pour it in, and you can see now how pliable it is. If you could feel it, you would know it's soft, but you put your hands in it like this, and you knead it. And then I let Savanna try it too, to see what she thinks about it as far as the feel and the way the dough is. As you can see,
it looks soft.
It's much more smooth. You see the top of it, but you keep going like this. Nice, and you go over with your hands, and you go with your feel, and you put your weight into it. See how I'm pushing my weight? That's how my mother used to do it. She'd be down a bit, she'd go like this with it. She'd go like this with the heels of her hand, like that. And you can see how beautiful this dough is coming together, and how if you could feel it, you would know how beautiful it is. You see how nice it is? Nice ball, and it's smooth. That's the way the dough is. So we're gonna let this rest for a while now and see how that is, and we'll rest, and then we'll see how we do it. Ooh, put your weight into it. It's good exercise for the hands, for the body. If you cut the 3 pounds and you cut it in half to knead it, it really comes out so much better. As you can see, this is more pliable. It's easier for me to handle. I can put more weight into it. And if you touch this, if you feel the touch of it, you can even see the difference in one.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much smoother. And that's what you want. You want a smooth dough with a lot of elasticity. It's very important. And look how nice this comes together compared to when we were doing the big one. The big one is really hard. So use smaller quantities, cut it in half. And as you can see, this is really nice.
Yes.
And it's gonna rest, it's even gonna be better than what it is. So I think we've learned something there, is to put it in smaller quantities. I can feel the elasticity of the dough. We added more water this time, and when you can feel the dough a little bit, and it has more elasticity, that's for sure.
About how much water do you think we added?
I think 3/4 of a cup.
And when we got it out of the food processor, it was sticky, wasn't it?
Yes, it was sticky, and I just used my hand and just did like this and patted it a little bit, because I felt that it had too much flour, because we're doing the flour here, and that adds a little bit more to it. And as you can see, put your weight into it
Nice, you know.
Go like this with the heels of your hand, over and heels. Over and heels.
So we have the dough resting, and now I'm going to be making the pizza dough with the King Arthur flour. And I'm going to be trying this new flour and comparing the dough to my usual recipe. So stay tuned for tomorrow to see the full review of how it compares. So here I have the dough. It turned out fine. I think this dough compared to my other it's the same. I cut the recipe in half, the one that I usually use. I think this flour is more like bleach looking than the other one is. So I think the color looks just a little bit different. But other than that, everything seemed to be fine. What are you doing?
I'm putting in the Parmesan and Reggiano cheese. And I know that, there it is, you see, and you just keep doing it. This is the fresh wedge.
How much did you add?
Until you see it. You should be able to see the cheese in the meat. So you'll be able to know. I'll show you in a second as soon as I do this.
We have the spinach with the ground
With the
beef, and then we'll add an egg when we're ready to fill the raviolis, right, Nina?
right. And this is ground beef, organic.
This is for the spinach.
And you can see the spinach incorporated. It has to be incorporated really well. And you know when there's enough cheese when you can see it all through dispersed. We can put just a little bit more, and then we'll stop.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 22. So today is going to be a very busy day. We have continuing to make the raviolis. Yesterday we made the dough. Today we're going to be rolling them out, putting the filling in, and making them all together. And then also we'll be making some cookies too, perhaps. So today is going to be a very busy day. So this is what I'm going to be eating this morning. I have my fruit, and then I made a pineapple smoothie. Going to continue making the raviolis right now, so let me show you what we're putting in the filling for the cheese raviolis. I'm going to be mixing this all up here. I have 2 cups of ricotta, 1 egg, half a cup of mozzarella, 1/4 a cup of Parmesan, and then I added some, it's either fresh grated Parmesan or pecorino romano, about 1/8 of a cup. I'm going to be mixing this all together. Okay, I mixed together the filling. Now it's time to roll out the dough. Right now I am putting the dough through our pasta machine here, and this machine is helping get the dough thin and long so we can place it here on our ravioli press. We have the filling, and so right now I'm going to be rolling out this dough through the machine so then I can put it on top and we can cut out some more raviolis. Okay, I got our first batch done for these raviolis, and now we're going to be placing them in the freezer. How is the dough going, Nana?
Oh, it's going good. I think it's
nice.
looks
Nana.
like it's a little too. So we're supposed to get 2 of these, but I don't think we are. I think 1 is enough.
Nice, Nanny.
Look.
Have the second batch completed, and it's going back into the freezer. So now we are moving on to making the spinach and beef raviolis. So I got the spinach. We put 2 eggs in the mixture, and then I just rolled it up with my hands and then put them inside here. And once we have taken them out, we're going to be crimping the sides of the raviolis with a fork. You just take it and you just helps it so it doesn't break apart when you boil them. So we finished the raviolis, and right now I'm using the excess dough to make some pasta. And here we have the pasta. So here's a little overview of all of the noodles we made. As a taste test, some of the noodles, and it tastes so good. So right now I'm currently making the pizzelles The recipe that I use, usually we make a lot more, so mine wasn't really too much. So this is a really small quantity than we're used to, and I'll show you how I'm making them. So here are all the cookies. I'm debating if I should make more or not. Usually when we make, we have like 3 cups of flour. This is only a cup and 3/4, so I'm gonna be thinking if I should make more or not. I have them. I'm gonna put the timer on for 45 seconds now. Timer is done, and it's time to remove the cookies. Such a pretty pattern. I'm going to be repeating this process. Okay, so now I'm making more of the pizzelles, and I'm going to be adding sugar into my egg mixture here. Now I'm going to be adding about a 1/4 cup of olive oil in here. Going to mix in 1 tablespoon of anise extract, and then I'm going to be adding the flour mixture, which is 1 3/4 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder, and then 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to be pouring just a little bit in at a time and then folding this in by hand. Okay, so here is the batter once I mixed everything in, and then just going to make sure your pizzelle iron is heated, and when it is ready, I just put some melted butter over it and then did each cookie for 45 seconds. All right, so I just got done making all the cookies, probably made around 45, 50 cookies, and now I have this huge mess to clean up. Okay, so it is much later now. Did some editing, and now I'm going to be going to bed. Made the food the whole day after cleaning up, and it is late now, so I'm going to be heading off to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 23. Bye. Thanks for watching.